I don't really get a chance to be in here often, but this is my office that was created for me. Um, hey everyone, my name is Jocelyn Grace, and I had to make a quick message for today. Happy Thursday, everyone. I made a video the other day about my superpowers, right? And I got such a lot of response on that video that I didn't want to put out the video that I made right after that kind of went into some of my gifts that I've had. Um, but now that um, life happens, I'm able to slow it down a little bit because I've had a lot of confirmations that other women are feeling the same way. Coming out of traumatic, toxic relationships, right? Where maybe for a period you didn't know your value, you didn't know your worth, you were struggling to identify your place in the world, your place in God's eyes comparatively to what you've been experiencing. Um, when you come out of all that and you start to really, because it's been 2 years celibacy for me, respectively, like I've taken my self care very seriously through a year ago, getting my wellness certification, 3 years ago, ringing my stage 4 breast cancer bell. Um, this is also the month that my mother and my grandson were born in. So, October is a very reflective month for me about my progress and where I see myself and what I aspire to achieve, good check in, right? But I did notice that my gifts are coming back. And they say if you don't use it, you lose it and stuff. But God will hide those things away so that you can take yourself seriously. So that when you stop dealing with energy vampires, people that take you for granted and deplete your energy, make you feel less than, and you start, going down on that, vibrational checklist of, in order for me to align in the frequency of the things that I'm trying to attract, things have to, be a certain way in divine timing so that God can essentially use you for his purpose, right? With the gifts that he innately gave you when you were born. And so when you actually take the time to separate, isolate, and trust that God is doing everything for your betterment, he's doing things so that you can level up in your frequency to allow more to be aligned with you that you want and you dream and you desire, what he has for you, what you want wants you as well. So, I've had a moment to where I'm doing things with so much intention that I can't help but see the results. And it's nothing new that I haven't done before, but it's just without the distraction, without anybody in my face, you know what I'm saying? Like without my energy going scattered to other people and what they have going on. I deliberately took time to center and heal myself. So I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for anyone to save me because when I surrendered and gave my life to Christ and things that obviously through cancer, my mother passing this year, out of my control, you know what I'm saying? When I surrendered and gave it all back to God, yeah, there was a spiritual warfare that some people now are going through, a spiritual psychosis where we can't separate um, and ground, and balance out the 3D and the 5D. There's been some difficulty in how to do that when I know spiritual warfare was very personal. I know that I was, like they say, when you sleep with someone, then you inherit those things that are inside them, those demons, those things that they have, going on with them internally, you take on, which is how people heal, and some people get energy swiped, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the swap, and some kind of contact where an unhealed person gets with a healed person or a healing person, and they take that energy to so that they can heal, and it's an exchange of energies. And when you have so much of someone else in you, or past traumas, or things we didn't heal from, inside of us, yeah, you have to take the time to go through those things itemized, call them out, rebuke them, binded, covered in the blood of our Savior, and thrown into the lake of fire. And I had to keep doing that, because the more things that I was trying to get to me, I saw all these blockages from all these other people. And though I put my hands up and backed away, and it might have been months or years or decades that I've dealt with said people, their essence, that the residue of their memory, you know what I'm saying? It's like those things were left behind, the things that I was struggling to let go of, the reason why there was this bond, outside of love. What is this? Is this a trauma bond? What is this? Is it your abandonment wound? Is it your sadness? Is it your disappointment wound? Is it? And so having to go through those things in the mirror of the people that I've had to let go, was serious work for me, and because I'm an empath, you take it on, not realizing that this is the weight that you're shedding so people can heal for themselves. And once you do that for you, it happens with them too. Calling your energy back is just that. I must be hitting so many confirmations, because but calling your energy back is just that. When you can identify the pull in you that was given to heal someone else, and you take your power back, like, here, this is yours, this is mine, and you rebuild that level of love and safety within you, that it's safe, you're not going to be abandoned, God is not going to forsake you or leave you. You have archangel help, you have ancestral help, you have Yeshua's help, you have the Most High's guidance, and the will and the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have all of this heavenly host. You have so many unseen, the Galactic Council of Light. You have all these the Lemurians, the Atlanteans, the you have all of these, you call them out, that you identify with all of these different beings of light, because that's all the codes that are in you. I am every woman. It's all in me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm comfortable, because I'm trying to get to a stability with my work, so I can come back and give you all these gems that I've learned in healing. And even still, if you don't put any caps on the healing, it's going to keep healing. And that's the beauty, that's the most wonderful part of healing. And it's like, yeah, you got to go through a lot of stuff, a lot of gunk, a lot of old stuff, baggage, go through them bags, if you will, to get to a point where you're emotionally grounded and stable enough to not run from the issues that might have invited these things before. You can face them, and yes, it takes time and energy to be able to identify, because you're gonna have to call those spirits out that were left in you, like with my family, spirit of ignorance, the spirit of perpetrating a fraud, you know what I'm saying, the spirit of manipulation, and some of these things that I've tried to heal in other people stem from the original family wound, karmic familial wound. So calling on the help of all of my angels and ancestors, and it's a building block progress, that even with the fasting that I did, because I still want to get into the no red meat, no chicken, no dairy type thing, you know what I'm saying? And yes, everything with moderation. When your spirit's called to do something, bless everything, please. Because even in some of the vegetarian meals that I've been eating, it's like you still don't know because you have to read the ingredients and what's in it and stuff. And then the fasting with the smoking and everything, and it's like when you do your purges, okay, and I do it in increments so I could just keep my body, you know what I'm saying, straight because prices. But you just ask God to give you the resources that you need to plan your diet accordingly. And sometimes when you don't consume, you allow your body to heal, and that's the part like the cancer thing. Like healing is an ever, ever thing, like an ever constant way of living, especially if you are rooted in self love. You have to give that empathy back to yourself because it's so much more fruitful to understand the truth within you to be able to apply it to your everyday life in the midst of what could be spiritual warfare or um, instances where you know that God is taking the battle is not yours. You know that God is showing you and revealing to you. So the best that we can do is stay in prayer, um, stay grounded, do your breath work. I've incorporated some other stretches and exercises um, that help me move and circulate. All these things that I'm moving around inside of me. And it feels good to be able to be here, knowing I'm on the other side, knowing what I've been through, and still being myself. I'm more aware and stronger because I've done the work, I've done the shadow work, I've faced myself, I've embraced my shadow. I love the totality. I absolutely adore the totality of me, that yin and yang, that light and dark, that balance to where I understand myself or why I feel this way, but let's go another way. Let's try something else. Let's do something different. So even now, I try to integrate different things into my day that highlight the love that I've been able to pour into myself from healing from a lot of chaotic, traumatic, dramatic circumstances in my life. Am I perfect? No. But I fully accept myself as the child of God that I am and forgive myself and others for the things that I did not know, just like my parents. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm better if you bet if you knew now not to do that, then we'd all have a different reality. But this is the ebb and flow of life. This is the evolution, and I know that I'm making all this so that my children, as they become older, will have sound points where they can kind of see my tidbits and kind of fit it all together. And hey, that's her. God bless her. And now this is the torch I carry because she was able to stand and do the work that she had to do for her. I'm able to find it in myself to do the same, and cut these things a little short, some of these lessons that you don't have to deal with a little short, you know what I'm saying? So um, I'm excited about the future because now that I have such emotional stability, um, and I'm able to see the 3 and the 5D in the balance of things, I'm able now to really put my best foot forward about my intentions, and I'm getting astounding results because now I'm finally doing my purpose. It's very hard to communicate that because I don't share that with other people. People can say a lot, actions reveal. So even on the saying that we're kind of similar and stuff like that in the past, the proof was in the pudding. Now that I'm able to have the time and the focus and energy to do it for myself here in the future, then I'm making stepping stones for people to come into my life that reflect that because now I'm able to do it authentically. And so I'll run it to you. I love it. So I just want to have this moment to just, I wanted to touch back on the superpower video because now I can do it from here. I couldn't do it just it standing alone before because then it's like it's all over the place and I'm excited and it's scattered. But it's all building, for the glory of God. It's all building for my higher self. You know what I'm saying? So this is from where I was before, not knowing. So the thing about it now is just being able to be mature enough to realize, like, yeah, things are happening. Oh my God. But oh my God, things are happening. Look at that. See how I did that? Oh my God, things are happening. Oh my God, things are happening. Because it makes you get to a point of response. It makes you get to a point of a conscious positive reaction that's going to set the scale and balance it out. And I'm not saying this, that, and the third. I'm just saying from my life because I know what God's doing for me. And even then, I'm surprised. You know what I'm saying? But it's all to benefit everything that I've been working on in my own development and my own evolution of stages of my life. And I'm really happy. Like I said proudly, I don't drink. You know what I'm saying? I might have a glass or two now and again. I had what 5 drinks last year, and I had now this is my fourth drink this year. Last night I shared a bottle of warm hot sake and did the whole hibachi thing, and it's just like it's like even in the moments like I'm getting out, I'm getting pretty and dolling up again, and I'm just welcoming life at this stage. And it might not be this, that, and the third, but let's just see what God has for me. And I'm sure that's gonna be better than whatever I thought. So surrender, ground, stay centered, breath work, acknowledging your divine team, ancestors, angels, archangels, ascended masters, the galactic family, and councils of light, and my spirit team, Yeshua, peace be upon him, the Most High, thank you, Father, the Great Mother, thank you, Gaia, the it's just Divine Mother and Father, like brothers and sisters in spirit, prayer warriors, like it's so many that are here assisting, and I'm just like, bring on the good stuff because I'm ready. It's my spirit. My flesh gonna fall away. My spirit is my spirit. It's gonna last forever. You know. So nurture it while we can in this body that we're in right now, and thank God for all things because I'm in a great place, and I'm very proud of myself. So because seriously, there were times where it's like I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I have all this going, and I'm not where I want to be yet. But that's so that God can have my attention right now. That was the last point that I wanted to make before I leave you today. Is that I was so worried about what everybody else and healing everybody else and trying to like I've seen I can't be anybody else's savior. Jesus tried that. If they're not following him, how the hell are they gonna follow you? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not working because they don't believe themselves. First, you can't do the believing for them. You can't do the work for them. And once I got to that point where people are just gonna be people on their own walks with the Lord, and I can separate myself to say either I'm gonna be a part of that or not. And if God doesn't have that aligned, I'm not going to force myself to be an example to the people that have already rejected. Hey, I'm good. I'm gonna just, like they say, when the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the master appears. So I'm just gonna stay in my lane and see what God has for me and build up on me because it's when you pour into yourself first, then you can overflow. But if you're pouring from an empty cup, ain't no way. If you already feeling like you got to go outside of yourself for God to get anything, because I've done it with everybody on my team and I've done it with nobody. And it's just me, you know what I'm saying? And either way it goes over the years, the second I fall back on the Most High to do all the, I've done my part, Lord. It's up to you, you know what I'm saying? And once you let him take over, that's my testimony that he's gonna do it. He's gonna show out. He's gonna show up and show out. He's gonna provide for you in ways that you never even thought possible because you surrendered, and that's how God blesses you. So I'm in a more incredible beautiful space than I was even a week ago. And God bless my mom for her birthday this month and all the other wonderful things. But I'm glad to share this moment with you all that I'm doing all right. I'm doing better than I expected. But like I said, it's a lot of surrender and it's a lot of showing up for myself. It's a lot of showing up for myself and knowing that God is making sure that when I get blessed, I'm not blessing a bunch of people that don't deserve. I'm not doing stuff with a bunch of people that's not gonna pour in. I'm not giving so much of my energy to people that's not gonna pour back into me. I get an exchange, but I pour into you, you pour into me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm finally around people that get that. I'm around people that get that. That it doesn't have to be so selfish. Now I can do more of me than I could before because I have the freedom to be able to get poured back into and then reciprocate, which is what it was supposed to be about in the first place. So I just wanted to make sure that I got on, and I'm gonna go clock in now. But I love it. I love the fact that it's my turn to shine, and I really am. And I don't mind my bad days. They just magnify and amplify my good days. Like, this is incredible. So I'm glad to see more of myself coming out and pouring out my spiritual gifts. I'm glad that it does feel like a superpower, a dormant energy spark within me that just started doing stuff when I started doing stuff. Great. I'm completely all for synchronization. You know what I'm saying? And the way that I'm going about it right now is really positive. It can't help but to yield the results that I'm getting. So yeah, I've got my goals. I'm gonna keep trying to manifest those, and God bless it. We gonna see. We are definitely gonna see. It's something to be seen. Like I said, it's just witnessing God in my life. I go to sleep with him. I wake up with him. I go out my day with him. I'm always in constant prayer about everything that I'm seeing. And I told my manager that. I told her, I was like, I pray about all of this. I pray about our fast days. I pray about some paced days, and all of it is just so that, I can show up for myself here. I go through a lot as a single mother. You know what I'm saying? I go through a lot trying to raise my boys happily and healthily, even while going through the healing parts of letting things go that don't serve me, and my greater good, and making those discerning decisions, even as far as my older children, and learning when to back away, learning when to help, learning when to be present, learning when to shut up. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance, you know what I'm saying? And it's just something that with temperaments, I've been able to, come to grips with. But I'm in a good place, you know what I'm saying? Being able to choose, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to post this. I got a break, but it's good to be in here doing what I love and doing more of it. So progress, you know what I'm saying? You can tell. But I love you all. Stay safe, be blessed, and enjoy. It's gonna get better from here, as long as you will it. So God bless. And as long as you put God first, can nothing. So, and while I'm just thinking out loud, I don't mind God putting me in an isolating position so I can deal with my hurts, traumas, fears, and insecurities from my childhood, my old friendships, old relationships, karmic family, familiar units, and I don't mind having a moment to purge myself from all of those old codes that needed to be upgraded, rewired, reframed, restructured, recalibrated into alignment. Because that just means that the relationships that I do have now are intentional, deliberate, and are not, I'm not letting my past have any excuse to show back up again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in a more comfort zone by not being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Not falling into the patterns of the past, not doing things that I used to do, or accepting and tolerating things that I used to, because more intention to be in alignment so I get different results. Yes, it's uncharted territory. Yes, I'm doing things I've never done before to get results I've never seen. You see what I'm saying? So it all works out in God's favor because I'm putting him first, and I'm allowing him to show me what in my purpose I can do to better be aligned and on a higher frequency. So I allow it with as minimal distraction as possible, going back to recenter, ground, and tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Tapping in and turning on to the frequency that I'm projecting myself into the universe. I have to accept it back with an open heart. So light as a feather, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, by the time I get where I want to be, I'll understand that all this was building me into who I needed to be in order to handle those blessings, and remembering to keep God first. I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's the most empowering time of my life, where I'm able to say it's on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't owe this to anybody else but me and God. And it's beautiful. It's delicious. It's exactly what I prayed for. It's exactly what I dreamed of. You know what I'm saying? The building blocks of our story.